Watch this. One tiny slice of lemon. That's it. Nothing else. And in just a few days, this dead-looking mango cutting starts growing roots right in front of your eyes. If you've ever tried to grow a mango tree and failed, stop what you're doing and watch this until the end, because this one trick changes everything. And before we go further, hit that subscribe button right now because we post simple garden tricks like this every single week and you don't want to miss the next one. Look at this mango tree. Just a few months ago, this was nothing but a small cutting sitting in a cup of water with a slice of lemon next to it. Now look at it. Strong roots, fresh green leaves, a trunk that's already thickening up. This is not luck. This is not some rare miracle plant. This happened because of one simple method that almost nobody talks about. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to do the same thing at home, even if you've never grown a single plant in your life. You don't need a greenhouse. You don't need fancy rooting powders from a garden store. You don't even need a big yard. All you need is a small cutting, a lemon from your kitchen, and about 15 minutes of your time. Now let's talk about the real problem. Most people try to grow a mango tree the hard way. They buy a seed, they plant it in soil, they wait weeks, sometimes months, and nothing happens. The seed rots, the cutting dries out, or worse, it grows a tiny sprout and then just dies for no reason at all. Sound familiar? You water it every day, you give it sunlight, you even talk to it like it's going to help, but still, nothing. This is so frustrating, especially when you see other people online growing huge mango trees like it's the easiest thing in the world. You start to think maybe you just don't have a green thumb. Maybe some people are born with it and some people aren't. But that's not true at all. The real issue isn't you. The real issue is that most people are missing one small step that makes all the difference. And once you see how simple that step is, you're going to wonder why nobody told you sooner. Think about how many times you've bought a mango, eaten it, saved the seed, planted it with high hopes, and then just watched it sit there doing nothing for weeks. Or maybe you tried cutting a branch from a neighbor's tree, stuck it in a pot, and came back a week later to find it brown, shriveled, and lifeless. It's discouraging. It makes you want to give up on growing mango trees altogether. But here's the good news. The problem was never you. It was the missing step that we're about to show you. So here's what actually happens when a mango cutting fails to grow. A mango cutting is basically a piece of a living plant that has been cut off from its main root system. The moment you cut it, it loses its lifeline. It has no way to pull up water or nutrients anymore. It's like cutting off a hand from a body. The hand is still alive for a little while, but without blood flow, it can't survive on its own. A cutting is the same. It needs to grow a brand new root system, and fast, or it will run out of stored energy and die. Most people don't realize that a fresh cutting is under a huge amount of stress. It's basically fighting to stay alive while trying to build a whole new root system from scratch. And here's the problem. Bacteria and fungus love this exact moment. The cut end of the mango branch is like an open wound. It's soft, it's wet, and it's full of natural sugars. That makes it the perfect target for rot. This is the real reason most mango cuttings fail. It's not bad luck. It's not a bad seed. It's rot setting in before the roots even have a chance to form. Here's what actually happens step by step inside that cutting, even though you can't see it. Once the branch is cut, the plant cells right at the wound start sending out distress signals. In a healthy, still attached branch, those signals would trigger the plant to heal and keep growing normally. But in a cutting that's separated from the main tree, those same signals get confused. The plant doesn't know if it should try to heal like a wound or start building brand new roots to survive. This is exactly the moment where outside help, like the acid from a lemon, can push the plant in the right direction. Most people don't realize that plants respond to their environment on a chemical level, not that different from how our own bodies respond to stress. Give the plant the right chemical push, and it reacts by protecting itself and growing new roots fast. This is where the lemon slice comes in, and here's why it works so well. Lemon juice is naturally acidic. That acidity does two important things at the same time. First, it helps clean the cut area and slows down the bacteria and fungus that cause rot. Second, and this is the part most people don't know, the natural acids and compounds in lemon can actually help trigger the plant's own rooting response. Plants react to stress and to certain natural chemicals by pushing out new root growth as a survival response. The lemon slice basically tricks the cutting into focusing all its energy on growing roots quickly, instead of sitting there getting attacked by rot. Think of it like a signal. It tells the plant, hurry up, protect yourself, grow roots now. That's why you see roots showing up faster and stronger when you use this method compared to just sticking a bare cutting in water or soil and hoping for the best. It's also worth understanding why lemon works better than plain water alone. Plain water has no protective barrier. Bacteria in the air and in the water itself can attack that open cut immediately, and once rot starts, it spreads fast, working its way up the stem before roots even have a chance to form. Lemon juice changes the environment right at that cut. It lowers the pH, which simply means it makes the area more acidic, and most rot-causing bacteria and fungus struggle to survive in that kind of acidic environment. So while the plant is quietly working on growing roots, the lemon is standing guard, keeping the danger away. Now let's get into exactly how to do this yourself, step by step, so you can try it today, no matter where you live or what kind of mango tree you have access to. Step 1 is choosing the right cutting. You want to pick a healthy branch, not one that's dry, cracked, or already turning brown and brittle. A good cutting should feel a little flexible, with fresh green color on at least part of it. Look for a section of branch that's about the thickness of a pencil. Sometimes a little thicker is fine too. You don't need a huge branch. A smaller piece actually roots faster because it doesn't need as much energy to support itself. Cut a section that's around 6 to 8 inches long. Make sure it has a few leaf nodes on it, which are the little bumps or joints along the stem where leaves grow out from. Those nodes are where new roots are most likely to form. If you're choosing between a few different branches, always pick the one that looks the most alive and vibrant, not the biggest or the thickest one. Step 2 is preparing the cutting properly. Once you cut your piece of mango branch, remove the lower leaves, leaving just a few leaves near the top. This is important because leaves lose water through their surface, and a cutting with no roots can't replace that lost water fast enough. Too many leaves left on the cutting will drain its energy and moisture before it even has a chance to root. Leaving just 2 or 3 leaves at the top is enough. This lets the plant still photosynthesize a little bit, which helps it stay alive, but it won't lose too much water in the process. If the remaining leaves are very large, you can even trim them down to about half their size. This further reduces water loss without removing the plant's ability to make a little bit of food for itself through sunlight. Step 3 is making a clean cut. Use a sharp, clean knife or pruning shears to trim the bottom of the cutting at an angle. Cutting at an angle instead of straight across gives you more surface area for roots to grow from, and it also helps the cutting take in more water later. A clean cut heals faster than a rough, torn cut, so take a second to make sure your blade is sharp before you start. A dull blade crushes the plant tissue instead of slicing it cleanly, and crushed tissue is more likely to rot. Wipe your blade down before you use it too, since a dirty blade can introduce bacteria right into that fresh wound. Step 4 is where the lemon comes in. Take a fresh lemon and slice it in half. You're going to gently rub the cut end of your mango, cutting against the fresh lemon slice, letting the juice coat that bottom section really well. Some people prefer to actually dip the cut end directly into a small amount of fresh lemon juice for about 10 to 15 seconds. Either method works, as long as the acidic juice makes good contact with the cut surface. This step is doing double duty. It's disinfecting the wound to slow down rot, and it's giving the plant that natural trigger to start focusing on root growth. Don't skip this step, and don't rush it. Give the cutting enough contact time with the lemon juice to really soak it in. Fresh lemon works better than bottled lemon juice, since fresh juice has more of the natural compounds still active and hasn't been sitting on a shelf for weeks. Step 5 is placing your cutting into water or soil. You have 2 options here, and both can work well. If you're using water, fill a clean glass or jar with room temperature water and place the cutting in so that the bottom 2 inches are submerged. Make sure none of the leaves are touching the water, because leaves sitting in water tend to rot and can spread bacteria to the whole cutting. Place the jar somewhere with bright indirect light, not direct harsh sunlight, since too much heat and light can stress a rootless cutting even more. If you're using soil instead, choose a light, well-draining potting mix, not heavy garden soil. Heavy soil holds too much water around the cutting and increases the risk of rot. Push the cut end about 2 inches into the moist soil and gently pack the soil around it so it stands upright on its own. Some growers like to cover the pot loosely with a clear plastic bag for the first week or two, creating a mini greenhouse effect that keeps humidity high around the cutting without soaking the soil itself. Step 6 is maintaining the right environment. Whether you're using water or soil, consistency is the key here. If you're rooting in water, change the water every 2 to 3 days. Old, stagnant water builds up bacteria fast, and that can undo all the good work the lemon juice did in the first place. Fresh water keeps oxygen levels up too, which roots actually need to grow well. If you're rooting in soil, keep the soil lightly moist, never soaking wet, and never bone dry. Think of a damp sponge. That's the moisture level you're aiming for. Check on your cutting daily, but resist the urge to move it around or pull it up to check for roots too often. Every time you disturb a cutting, you slow down its progress a little bit because it has to recover from that disturbance. A quick daily glance is enough. You don't need to poke or tug at it to know it's doing fine. Step 7 is giving it the right temperature and light. Mango cuttings root best in warm conditions, ideally somewhere between 70 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. If you live somewhere cooler, try placing your cutting near a warm windowsill or use a simple heat mat made for plants, the kind gardeners use for seed starting. Warmth speeds up the whole rooting process significantly. As for light, bright, indirect sunlight works best. A spot near an east-facing window or a covered porch with filtered light is usually ideal. Avoid harsh, direct afternoon sun, especially in the first couple of weeks, because that can dry out the cutting faster than it can absorb moisture. If you notice the leaves starting to droop or curl, that's usually a sign the light or heat is a little too intense, and moving the cutting to a gentler spot can help it bounce back. Step 8 is patience and monitoring. This is the part most people struggle with the most. After doing everything right, you still have to wait. Mango cuttings can take anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks to show real root development, depending on the temperature, the health of the cutting, and the growing conditions. During this time, watch for small white or light-colored bumps forming near the base of the cutting, right around that area you treated with lemon juice. Those little bumps are the beginning of new roots. Once you see them, you'll also usually notice the top of the cutting perking up a little, maybe even pushing out a tiny new leaf bud. That's your sign that things are working. Some cuttings root faster than others, even under identical conditions, simply because every piece of plant material is a little different. Don't compare your cutting's progress to someone else's video online. Focus on your own signs of life. Step 9 is transitioning your rooted cutting. Once your cutting has developed a solid network of roots, usually a few inches long and branching out a bit, it's ready to move into its permanent home. If you rooted it in water, don't rush this transition. Sudden changes are hard on new roots. Move the cutting into a pot with well-draining soil and keep that soil consistently moist for the first couple of weeks as it adjusts. Roots that grew in water are a little different from roots that grow in soil, so give the plant time to adapt instead of expecting it to thrive immediately. If you rooted it directly in soil already, you can simply keep letting it grow where it is. Just make sure the pot has enough room for the roots to keep spreading out. From here, treat it like a young mango plant, giving it regular water, warmth, and bright light as it continues to grow stronger every week. As it grows taller, you can gradually introduce it to more direct sunlight, a little at a time, so it toughens up without getting shocked. Now let's talk about the mistakes that trip people up, because even with a method, this simple small errors can ruin your results. The first common mistake is using a cutting that's too old or too woody. A branch that's already hard, dry, and dark brown all the way through has a much lower chance of rooting successfully because it simply doesn't have the same energy reserves as a fresher, greener cutting. Always choose a branch that still has some flexibility and life to it. The second mistake is leaving too many leaves on the cutting. It feels natural to want to keep more leaves because it looks healthier, but remember, more leaves means more water loss, and a rootless cutting can't keep up with that demand. Trim it down and trust the process. It might feel like you're doing damage by cutting off leaves, but you're actually giving the cutting a much better shot at survival. The third mistake is skipping the lemon step or not applying it properly. Some people just splash a little juice on quickly and call it done. But for the lemon treatment to actually work, the acid needs real contact time with the cut surface. Take those extra 15 seconds. It makes a real difference. Rushing this one small step is often the difference between a cutting that thrives and one that quietly rots away. The fourth mistake is inconsistent watering. This is probably the biggest killer of cuttings overall. People either forget to change the water for over a week, letting it turn cloudy and bacteria-filled, or they let the soil dry out completely for days at a time. Cuttings need steady, reliable care, not sporadic attention. Set a reminder on your phone if you have to. Consistency matters more than perfection here. The fifth mistake is placing the cutting in the wrong light or temperature. Too much direct sun cooks a delicate cutting before it can root. Too little light slows down its ability to photosynthesize and stay strong. Too cold of an environment can basically pause the rooting process altogether. Finding that sweet spot of warm, bright, indirect light is essential. If you're not sure whether a spot is too bright, watch how the leaves react over a day or two and adjust from there. The sixth mistake is impatience. This one is honestly the hardest for most people. They root a cutting for a week, don't see instant results, and give up, tossing it out and assuming it failed. But 2 to 6 weeks is completely normal for mango cuttings. Some can even take a little longer depending on conditions. Give it time before you decide it's not working. Nature doesn't move on our schedule, and rushing a plant never actually speeds it up. Now here's a bonus tip that experienced growers use. And it's something most beginner tutorials never mention. After you apply the lemon juice to the cut end, let that cutting sit out of water or soil for about 30 minutes in a shaded spot before planting it. This short drying period, sometimes called callusing, allows the cut surface to form a thin, protective layer. That callus acts like a natural barrier against rot and disease, on top of what the lemon juice already did. When you plant a calloused cutting, it tends to root more reliably because it's better protected during that vulnerable early stage. Experienced growers swear by this small extra step, and it costs you nothing but a little bit of waiting time. Another pro insight worth mentioning is that mixing a small amount of raw honey with the lemon juice can boost results even further for some growers. Honey has natural antibacterial properties too, and some gardeners believe it helps feed the cutting with a tiny bit of natural sugar during that critical early period. If you want to experiment, try dipping your cutting in a mix of fresh lemon juice and a small drop of raw honey before letting it callus. It's not required, but it's a trick worth trying if you want to push your success rate even higher. Some growers also like to take multiple cuttings from the same tree at once, trying slightly different conditions for each one, like one in water and one in soil, just to see which method works best in their specific home environment. This kind of small experiment can teach you a lot about what your particular space needs. So there you have it. A simple, natural way to root a mango cutting using nothing more than a slice of lemon, a little patience, and the right conditions. This method works because it solves the real problem that kills most cuttings, which is rot setting in before roots have a chance to form. By protecting that cut and giving the plant a natural push to grow roots quickly, you're working with nature instead of against it. Anyone can do this, no matter your experience level, no matter where you live, and no matter how many mango trees you've killed in the past. All you need is a healthy cutting, a fresh lemon, and the steps we just walked through together. If this video helped you, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up because it really helps this channel grow and reach more people who are trying to garden smarter, not harder. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time because we share simple, natural growing tricks like this every single week, things that actually work without needing fancy tools or expensive supplies. Drop a comment below and let me know if you're going to try this lemon method on your own mango cutting and come back and tell us how it goes. Your next mango tree could be growing right now, sitting on a windowsill, just waiting for its roots to take hold. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.